Hey guys, it's Angus, and today I'm joined with the Cinematic Mind, also known as Danny Barker, and today we're going to give a review of the biggest and the best, you could say, Bond film ever made, known as Spectre.
We got a lot to discuss.
We've got a lot to cover
with Spectre tonight, everyone.
We've got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get through it.
Okay, let's talk about the story. Basically, after the events of Skyfall, we meet up with Daniel Craig's James Bond, who basically is sent on a mission to Mexico to stop a hitman. And after destruction happens, he basically discovers a ring from this hitman, which connects to terrorist attacks around the world. We find out that MI6 is getting overtaken by an organisation led by Andrew Scott. So it's up to James Bond to discover what connections has been going on with this organisation, which is known as Spectre.
Yeah. Let me think. You mentioned the helicopter scene. So you didn't really see much in the trailer, but it's pretty much what Bond defines. It's a fucking huge fight in this helicopter, spinning everywhere. I have no idea how it's even possible, but it's epic as.
Let's just say that
let's start with the opening.
The opening I will describe as one of the most spectacular James Bond openings I have ever witnessed. Probably since, I think now I would probably say, because after Skyfall with the legendary Roger Deakins as cinematographer, it's topped it. I think it's immensely topped it.
They nailed it.
I would compare it with Casino Royale as the best opening. Definitely. But I think it might be my favourite, because you see this glorious massive scene with the Day of the Dead theme, with all these glorious costumes.
It's cultural, it's crowded as well.
With this huge 30 to 40 feet skull, grinning skull.
And in IMAX as well. That's really on point.
It looks so authentic with all this huge amount of extras. And most importantly, we need to note the tracking shot, the long shot. That was
really that was probably the best cinematography in terms of what I've seen in a Bond film ever.
That was
really good.
Definitely.
Only the best, I think the best cinematographers and the best directors only do it. Can you pull it off?
It's well paced, well acted, and it really, really keeps you on the edge of your seat in this opening.
Absolutely.
Then we move on to the title song, Writing on the Wall by Sam Smith. Now let's just say, how did you describe the song Writing on the Wall by Sam Smith when you first heard of it?
It's funny because it's only been in the last sort of few years that I've started to realise that, of course, the Bond songs, well, the main Bond song at the opening sequence is it's like a tradition now. It's sort of when it gets released, it sort of has to go number one, or there's always a sort of a lot of talk about it. I think there always has been, but I've only just started to realise that again with, say, Adele and Skyfall. But now, Writing on the Wall, it's very, very debatable, I think.
It's definitely been very divisive over the James Bond community.
Did you like it?
When I first heard of it, when it was originally released, it felt like a really underwhelming pop ballad that Simon Cowell's trousers will fall down for. And as for Sam Smith's performance, I would probably say it was half decent.
I mean, his voice is incredible.
It's good, but just with the lyrics, it sort of makes it a mishmash for me. Yeah. Then we get onto the title sequence. Let's just say, thank God it fits the context of the film.
If it didn't fit,
I would have thought it just wouldn't have worked. As a song, for me, I would not say it's as good as You Know My Name from Casino Royale or Skyfall from Skyfall, but as a song that fits into the title sequence, it's really, really well done. Yeah,
I mean, he has an amazing voice. Did he write the song?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
20 minutes in his demo.
That was quite impressive.
Because that's probably the fastest time writing up a song, doing the song itself, and then...
I kind of wish he spent more time in it.
I wished.
I kind of feel that it has to be something you have to nail.
Yes.
And I don't think they did. It's a Bond song.
It's definitely better than Quantum of Solace's song, which is sort of... starts great, and then it becomes very forgettable as soon as the song starts. Yeah. Then we get onto the characters. James Bond. Daniel Craig, I will still say, is one of my favourite Bonds. Yeah. Definitely up there with Sean Connery. And he does continue to give off...
yeah, solid performance. Yes. I think,
And then let's go on with the other cast and the characters. I'm really happy to say that it's nice to see more of Moneypenny, Q, and them more involved in the story.
It's interesting. It's the first black Moneypenny as well, wasn't it?
Well, in Skyfall, of course.
Yeah, from the first sort of start of Daniel Craig, because when they've started to make Daniel Craig, obviously, like, between the other older Bond films, it's a completely different story, but with this one, with Daniel Craig, they've kind of kept it. Like, for example, one of the things they kept was when you saw, what was it, MI5 or MI6 blown up.
Yes.
So obviously, when they do a new Bond film, they're sort of just going to have to ignore that, aren't they? They're going to have to sort of pretend it didn't happen because it's a different story. The reason I say that is because it's like with Moneypenny, it's the first black character. It's just, I think it's an interesting thing they've done.
Yes. And it's really impressed me, especially with Ben Whishaw as Q. Basically, both Daniel Craig and Ben Whishaw basically that's just so funny. They give off real good comebacks at each other.
No, exactly. They did, especially those two characters as well. Yes. They did it over and over again.
There's a lot to really discuss about the villains.
Now, it's funny because, of course, the villain, especially in Bond films, is essential. It is what makes Bond.
It's basically, to be honest, the most important film parts of me, besides the music, besides the effects, Bond and the villain.
Yeah.
Get it right. Yeah. Execute it well. How do I say this?
It's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe
without giving spoilers, for example.
Again, without giving spoilers, because it's a big twist, let's just say. I think probably after you've seen the film, you'll probably know, but we're not going to give it away for any viewers who haven't seen it. Franz Oppenheimer, played by
solid actor, but
by Christoph Waltz, who is the head of Spectre, who basically, as he describes himself, as the author of his pain.
Yeah.
He really impressed me in his scenes that he was in, but as much as I enjoyed him in the movie, again, this is going to be with the other villains as well, but later on them, I felt he was kind of underused.
Yeah, he's going to be used more.
I think what they were trying to go for was like the previous film, where they have a lot of build-up for the villain, and they don't fully show him until like halfway through. And this time, I felt, for the context of the film, I see what they were going for. Yes, the story's fine, but I wish they could have done a lot more scenes with him.
Yeah. I kind of felt that, even though they didn't use him much, they kind of... I think they're sticking to sort of what they've done in previous Bonds. For example, I use this a lot, Goldfinger.
Yes.
Like, for example, when they do it in Goldfinger, it's still quite hard to determine the villain, and then you actually... and then obviously, like, later in the film, it's very distinctive, but later in the film, you're not sure. I guess when you actually see the villain in Spectre, it's obvious straight away.
Yeah.
But I guess...
especially for old school Bond fans.
I guess they left the build-up. They left that bit out. I think that's what they done.
I don't know, because it's definitely more with the other villains.
Yeah.
Because... I also felt the other villains were kind of... Dave Pachetta's character of Hinks, the hench guard.
That was another thing, actually.
He's good in it.
Yeah.
But the problem I had with him, it's not him. It's the character himself. He's really underused.
Yeah.
Now, you think for someone like him, he would take on Bond throughout the film, right?
Yeah.
No. He's in scenes.
The car chase is the only real time.
But more in the set pieces, more.
Oh, well, in all fairness, he did actually take him on in the train scene.
Yes,
that was, of course, that was a solid scene, actually. But I think...
And then we...
it was too early for me.
And then we come down to the MI6 subplot with Andrew Scott.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, without giving much away, as soon as you see Andrew Scott's character come up, you're going to find the subplot really... really obvious, and I'm telling you, it will make you just remind yourself of Captain America: Winter Soldier and Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
And while I see again what the film was going for, but it's been done, executed a lot better in Mission Impossible 5. I'll definitely say that. What else can we talk about?
But how good is it as a Bond film?
It's interesting because what I've noticed with this Bond film this time is that they're sort of going back to the old Bond a little bit, where they sort of do a few references to some of the old Bond films, like...
I do appreciate that.
Especially cleverly, if you know the main villain's name, especially if you're a fan of the books, you'll get the reference.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get the reference, without giving it away. It's interesting as a Bond film because they do continue showing gadgets in there.
But they left it out. I kind of found that's always what would be in Bond, and then I found in the last couple of films, they're very slowly sort of getting rid of it, I feel.
Both Casino Royale and Skyfall, it's sort of about both the action and story mixed together, as I thought.
It sometimes can be quite difficult with the Bond films, especially because, of course, it's like an unlimited franchise. There's going to be more and more films, but they're different directors. So technically, each Bond film is what that director thinks the Bond film should be. So it's quite hard to sort of compare it to every other film, because of course it's different directors. It's not the same one, and of course different producers, different cinematographers, soundtrack, and actors as well. But overall, I think they do stick to a lot of Bond values, which I'm really glad about.
What did you think of the action scenes, though?
So the first action scene, of course, was the opening sequence.
The fantastic opening sequence.
Which was really solid.
Really, really... And even though I still miss Roger Deakins now, it's still well cinematography. The cinematography is still really, really good for a Bond film. What do you think of the fight scenes, though?
The fight scenes. So the first fight scene I think of was on the train against the villain sidekick, and then there is other ones in between. What are the other fight scenes?
You know, sort of that mixture of the car chase, plane chase.
Did I like the fight scenes? I'm not sure. I think it's.
Do you think it would stick out though?
I think it's because there's been so many classic fight scenes in the previous Bond films that when it comes down to these ones, it's a bit hit and miss. Yeah.
I thought they did work, but I feel like if I rewatch it over and over, will it stand? That's my main question. Yeah. I think if there was a few problems I did have with the story, is that it was underused characters. That's the main thing. Yeah. Especially, Monica Bellusci's character. Yeah. Who basically is the oldest Bongo, and they hyped it up in the media, but when you see her in the film, she's not in it very long, surprisingly. Yeah. And only around 5 minutes of screen time she's actually in it.
It's a bit
consistent. That is the longest Bond film right now.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. What is it? 2.5 hours. It's a long Bond film.
Longest of them all.
I felt that, of course, you are going to a Bond film, and it's the newest one as well. So it's huge, high budget.
Music score,
decent.
I did think it was decent.
It's by a classic, Thomas Newman.
Love Thomas
Absolutely
Newman.
Incredible.
I think
composer.
the one I really did enjoy listening to the instrumental version of Writing on the Wall. Yeah. I think the only thing I would add to the score is that it does feel like it trend back to Skyfall again. Yeah. Than an original score, but other than that, I did enjoy the score.
He's done some amazing projects like American Beauty. He's done so many great.
Again, he's sort of a major collaborator with Sam Mendes.
Exactly.
Who I still think with Spectre, he's done a great job directing. These two Bond films.
Yeah, especially for the grossing as well. Spectre grossed $1 billion, incredibly successful. I guess it kind of has to be successful in its way, but again, the director has a huge impact on that.
Yes, IMAX
opening sequence, brilliant fight. Yeah. Did they film it the most in IMAX? I think
they definitely did.
They did a majority in IMAX.
They definitely filmed it in IMAX, and it really fits with the IMAX format.
And what I'm really glad they didn't do is 3D IMAX. Because
I agree.
That is hard to nail. That's hard to get right.
It's not going to work.
Because if you don't do it right, it's shit as. And, I mean, you don't really get that many 3D IMAX films that are bad.
Yes.
It's just, you have to nail it.
Yes. Especially with the lighting, because the problem with 3D and IMAX, it depends on the lighting as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would say, as someone who finally saw a Bond film in IMAX, at last, it's solid.
Great sound as well.
It's worth it. If you can get tickets, however...
Yeah, exactly. Getting tickets on Friday night, absolutely packed.
Yes.
Absolutely packed.
Complete packed sold out.
I've never seen Cineworld more busy, ever.
It's getting busy. But as for later films, well, it's becoming like a bloody rock concert, I tell you.
Exactly.
So, in conclusion, what did you think of this Bond film?
In conclusion, it's quite funny because I have always been a big Bond fan, but I think what I need to do is actually watch back every single one. I know that'll take a long time, but I need to watch back every single one again to make to give myself a proper conclusion. I think Quantum of Solace and Casino Royale I need to watch again, because I actually preferred Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace compared to Skyfall, but I think now that if I watch Skyfall again, I probably would prefer it.
I will say this, as someone who's watched over the Daniel Craig movies again, Casino Royale and Skyfall are still fine. I still enjoy them. Even if Skyfall has one problem for me, which is a big plot hole. As for Quantum Solace, it's just a disappointment for me. When I actually watch it now, when I compare it with Casino Royale and Skyfall, it's just really underwhelming. The villain's not that memorable. The action scenes are kind of ruined by the editing, because it's just awkward. And
so overall,
I will definitely say this is definitely better than Quantum of Solace. Definitely. Though I will admit, I'd still prefer Skyfall and Casino Royale more.
Yeah.
Could have done something a little different, because it sort of ends up becoming really predictable. But as a Bond film, I still find it really, really entertaining. So I'll probably give it, as a Bond film, 8. Though I will admit it is not as good as Skyfall and Casino Royale. I wish there could have been a little bit more character development with the side story and some of the side villains. But other than that, I still enjoyed it, experiencing it on the IMAX, and it's definitely worth seeing it on IMAX.
The opening sequence. It's definitely worth the spectacle as well, especially as you mentioned, the opening sequence, just absolutely fantastic, perfectly filmed for IMAX. I mean, Sam Mendes, he did a great job, didn't he? I
do respect Sam Mendes for managing to be one of the only Bond directors to do the double.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, I would give it an 8.
I definitely say the same rating.
I mean, it's solid, but again, I
wish they could have sort of improved the side villains.
Yeah,
and sort of just add more to Belushi's character.
Yeah, exactly. Solid Bond film. Definitely go worth see it.
Definitely worth seeing it.
So apart from that, thank you very much for watching.
Good night. You've got IMAX 3D when it's actually filmed in IMAX 3D.
And then you've got sort of things like the Scientific Museum as well, which work really well.
I respect that place a lot. But then, you know what I think is really baffling? When we expected a film like this, we were shocked to find out this wasn't in IMAX at all.
Yeah, just that alone.
We were thinking this was going to be in IMAX until it came out, and it was like, oh, Memphis is still in IMAX.
It's a high-budget film, it's sci-fi, it's got a great director, it's got to be in IMAX. Spectre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recent, most expensive.
Okay. It's really funny actually, because I'm trying to introduce my own video and I can't do it. That's really annoying, that. Okay. Hey guys. Fuck. I can't do it right. I have to get it right. Hey guys, and today I'm joined with the Cinematic Mind, also known as Danny Barker.
Hello.
And today we are... Fuck! Done it wrong again. Right, I'm gonna get this right this time.
Let's go.
Okay. What was one of the scenes? Sort of, when they're walking through, and he said, is it your birthday? And she said no, and then he said, that was last week. That was funny. That was a good one. So anyway, apart from that, thank you for watching. Damn it! That's it.
Hello?
It got us a video.
Okay, we were trying to finish that.